8 minutes past 12, you're listening to the Mid Morning Talk on Salam Media with me, Mari Makondo. With tensions between local South Africans and foreigners heightened, what plausible solutions are there to avoid a repeat of the devastating 2008 xenophobic attacks? South Africa often makes the headlines for violent attacks against immigrants. South Africa has long been a magnet for economic migrants searching for better job prospects in the region. With the unemployment rate amongst locals already very high, they have been left hopeless, disappointed, and angry. Will we witness another 2008 attack on foreigners? Joining me on this panel discussion right now is Kwena Molekwa, the Secretary General for Put South Africa First, and we will also be joined by Vusumuzi Sibanda, the Chairperson of the African Diaspora Forum. All right, so let's chat with our guests and discuss this topic. Remember, you can send your comments, questions, queries, or suggestions to us via WhatsApp on 0617660355. Alternatively, you can leave them in the comment section below. Good afternoon, Kwena, and thank you for joining me.
Good afternoon. Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
I'm good.
Right, I do realize that you have a program going on, so if you can find a place to sit down, that will be great. Now, we're going to be joined by Vusumuzi Sibanda in a moment as well, but for those who may not know, please give us some background information on who Put SA First is.
Put South Africa First, we are a civic organization. We are crying for South African, the job to be one to be reserved. The economy of South Africa doesn't favor its anti-South Africans. And we are saying that the government must enforce our current immigration and labor laws that we do have in the country. And they must fix the borders that we been having that they don't even exist, and the government must actually even prioritize South Africans in all sectors of the economy.
Hmm. Now, how is your organization helping South Africans?
Currently, as we are speaking, we are in Roslyn. One, we are saying that Praga, BMW must hire South Africans. We have South African CVs that are ready to actually even to say that they can take the jobs, and we want them to replace the foreign nationals that they have employed because that's against the Employment Equity Act of 2002.
So, is there proof that there are foreign nationals working at these places?
We do research before just going to any place. We would do research. One, firstly, we would even try to write letters and sit down with the management to actually make them realize that they are actually undermining or subverting the laws of South Africa. And we do have people that will give us intel on that matter, or to say that this is what is happening and this is the number of these people that are not occupying crucial skills jobs that needs to actually, we need to actually verify the information. So we don't just attack as people assume that we do operations without doing thorough research or we engage in the management of those places.
Hmm. Now, do you think organizations such as yourself are inciting violence against foreigners, or are you sending the wrong message to your followers?
We are not inciting violence. We have never been violent. I think since the beginning of the campaign, once it started and we've been leading it, we have never got to be violent against any African migrant or any foreigner for that matter. But we go to all these places, we sit down with the management, and we're not inciting violence. What we want the laws of South Africa to be respected by all those who want to stay in South Africa. By all those who want to stay in South Africa must have documents to stay in South Africa in the first place. You can't just enter this country illegally and think that we must actually, forget that if I go to Zimbabwe, I'm required to carry papers, but it doesn't happen if a Zimbabwean comes in South Africa and they don't have papers, and we are seeing a lot of crime that are committed by even untraceable people. As we are saying that even today, the South African police can solve certain cases because of those cases were committed by people that are unknown in this country.
hmm do you think that there might be some people who claim to follow your organization or be part of the organization, yet they incite violence on the side, claiming that all foreigners must go back home and we don't want any foreigners here, etc.? I mean, we see these hashtags on social media. We read letters being sent out. We hear voice notes being shared on social media platforms as well, and this it creates a sense of fear amongst foreign nationals and also amongst those who are married to foreign nationals.
I always believe, coming from the political era of the EFF, myself as an individual, I would say that in politics, we always speak of the third forces that are always there, whether you are doing something that is good or you are not doing something that is good. So there is third forces that are there, but they are not being engineered by us. Those that are led by us, we always they know that we do not actually advocate for violence against foreign nationals. What we want is the law enforcement to do its work, and we are tired of asking the police to do the obvious things because they arrest these people. After a day, these people are back into the communities. So those kind of things make people very angry, but we have never actually inserted violence or instructed our members primarily to actually act violently. But we do know, we are aware as a movement that there is third forces and people that are claiming to actually, be representing us. And those people, they need to stop these things because of one, we've been willing to engage to sit down with different organizations. I think I've engaged previously with Dr. Sibanda, Mr. Vusis Banda. We have engaged. We do believe in engagements, but what we want is the laws of South Africa, and we are asking that even people from the diaspora, they must actually be encouraging of African migrants or any migrant for that matter to carry relevant documents to come into South Africa. We can't just be wanting to find solutions or find each other where else other people are promoting loneliness in South Africa.
hmm Now, what can be done to avoid the xenophobic attacks that we saw in 2008? Because it seems like it might lead to those attacks, and we don't want to have that again.
What we have done or what we do with our members for that matter, we always speak of high discipline and high morals, and how we want them to realize that should anything of that sort happen, it will actually take us back where we started. The
hmm
world will never want to hear what South Africans want to say, how we are saying that our solutions must be found, and what we believe in, and our cause will lose its identity. So we do communicate this to our members every time when we are even in groups that are off Twitter. Actually, it's not just the Twitter movement. Even in communities, even when we march with them, we do encourage that they mustn't take the law into their hands.
hmm Now, earlier you mentioned about political parties and third parties' involvement. Aren't the concerns that political parties are using organizations like Put South Africans First to gain political points and votes?
We are not at this moment. We work with different political parties. We're not working with Patriotic Alliance because I know that with Kenny being in the forefront with us, it seemed like we are actually part of Patriotic Alliance. But we work with the IFP, ATM, Action SA. So we are not anti-political parties, but the
hmm
movement itself needs to remain apolitical. It doesn't affiliate itself with any political party. But those political parties that we are associated with are the political parties that we believe we share the same sort of policies with them, and they realize that we are actually what we are fighting for. So, and on the other side, this issue of immigration, one, it's a political thing. It needs the politicians
hmm
themselves to actually even do certain things. So we can't just separate it and think that it's just a social movement. The issue of immigration in South Africa needs the political will in South Africa to resolve it.
hmm Well, with all the corruption at place there, we have to start somewhere. And there's a comment here I'd like to share. It says from Afzal Nur Muhammad, there is no excuse for xenophobia. However, the laissez-faire policy of the incompetent ANC government is the direct cause of the problem. no clear-cut immigration policies, no plan to improve the infrastructure such as schools and hospitals to deal with the increase in population. What do you think about that comment?
What I can say on that comment, I do agree to the pause of saying that the ANC has failed to do the obvious things, especially the infrastructure that we are crying of, starting with the borders that are there in South Africa. We do say that we have borders, but they are not functioning borders. They are not even correct. They are not even equipped to actually even look at the obvious security threats that they bring to the country, and how certain people, even from certain countries, are using the issues of our borders to actually transport drugs. There's a video that is even trending today from ENCAA that was speaking about how a political party in Mozambique is bringing drugs into South Africa, and they are using the porous borders. And indeed, that we do not have infrastructure, and the ANC government has failed to do the obvious things for the past 28 years. So that is why I'm saying the problems of immigration in South Africa, it does need the political hand, and the political hand, the political power, and the political will in order for it to change and look at the obvious things.
hmm Right now, I'm trying to understand something here. It seems like there is a misunderstanding or a misinterpretation when it comes to the usage of certain words. Like when you say put South Africa first or put South Africans first, people seem to think that this is a means to drive away foreigners and to get rid of immigrants and people that come to South Africa for employment or trading, etc. Do you think the word xenophobia is being used to silence South Africans?
Yes, I believe that the word xenophobia is used to silence and dismiss South Africans, given the high unemployment of South Africans, given the issues that we are crying of entry-level jobs not being given to South Africans. And we are saying that South Africans lack skills. But then if we are saying South Africans lack skills, they need to be given the work opportunities that are there, starting with the entry-level jobs in order for them to gain the market experience, in order for them to actually even get the exposure into the market. So xenophobia for me, it's used and it's actually even overused. Even when Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi was speaking about these issues, that when you arrest or when you speak against African migrants that are in the country illegally, some of them that have obtained the South African documents fraudulently, like Bushiri and Omototo and many others, and when you speak against those issues, people are just being dismissive and just saying we are being xenophobic. But we can't allow that. We can't allow our sovereignty to be undermined to such a level.
hmm And well, there
Yes.
are immigration laws in all countries, and these immigration laws are put in place for a reason, so that the locals, the people of that country, are prioritized before anyone else, which is why they call on immigrants to come into the country with special skills or special products that they can provide that the country does not have, and South Africa should be doing that as well. What do you think about the South Africans who are running businesses and are visiting other African countries, being victimized from the actions of those here at home? Like, for example, if I go to Nigeria, I'm being victimized because of what other South Africans are doing to Nigerian nationals in South Africa.
Um, we are not saying that we are an island. The trade, we believe in trade, one, as put South Africa first, but we can't have free trading that is benefiting syndicates. That one we will not allow. And so far, the trade that has been there, it benefits the syndicates more than it benefits the economy of South Africa. And it's very clear because of, if you look at the economy of South Africa, you realize that for the past 10 years, the economy has not even grown, not even once, but instead the issues in South Africa are actually getting worse. But we can't say that we those who with ears will hear what the course actually talks about, what it communicates. And we are not saying that government of countries must not enforce their laws without favor. They must do that in whatever countries that they are at, and they must do that unapologetically. And we are saying we want the same thing to happen in South Africa, that other governments of African countries, they must see that the injustice that has been done in South Africa and them promoting loneliness in South Africa, it actually will, how it has impacted an ordinary South African.
Hmm. All right, now, what is the ultimate satisfactory outcome you're willing to get, and do you think it is plausible?
What we are hoping to get, one, is to address the youth unemployment. Today, the statistics that are there are youth unemployment in South Africa is 74%. South Africans have lost hope to actually even look for jobs. So that tells you what is happening inside this country. So people are no longer even looking for jobs, which means South Africans are tired to such a level that they have tried so many times to look for jobs and they have failed to get employment. So we need to address those kind of issues. And until the youth unemployment goes down or the unemployment in South Africa goes down, we will not rest. We will keep on pushing these programs until the government realizes that prioritizing South Africans is not a crime, it's not xenophobia.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your time, Quinn. I'm going to leave you to your protest action right now. Thank you for joining me.
Okay, thank you. Bye. Enjoy your day. Bye.
Bye. Kwena Molekwa, the Secretary General for Put South Africa First, taking us through um, these tensions, these rising tensions that we are seeing at the moment between locals and foreigners. And we are hoping that it does not lead to the 2008 xenophobic attacks that we witnessed. It would be devastating for the country and for the economy as well, which we are struggling with at the moment. And what Put South Africa First is trying to achieve is not to attack foreigners and not to incite violence, but rather to put South Africans first and to address the situations that we face as a country, like youth unemployment. Youth unemployment is at a high of 74%, and something definitely needs to be done. And I think it comes down to the education and the level of education that we have in South Africa. And because of that level of education, kind of makes it challenging and difficult for South Africans, young South Africans, to get employment. Because, I mean, you still have to go and study, get into an institution to study. After studying for some years, then you have to apply for jobs. And when you apply for jobs, you still don't have the special skills that are required. So where do we get those special skills? Where are the institutions, the private companies ready to take on unemployed South Africans and give them those special skills that they require? Also, the corruption that we have to deal with when it comes to immigration and immigration laws at the border. This exchange of money, it needs to be dealt with accordingly. And only when we have tight laws in place can we really have change and see change in the country. Unfortunately, we could not have Dr. Vusumuzi Sibanda, who had to attend to urgent matters. He is the chairperson of the African Diaspora Forum, but hopefully we will get some comment from him. And you may also leave your comments in the comment section below or send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. Let's keep the conversations going.